No accents.
Okay.
No. Hi, welcome to Harry's Big Podcast. Keeping it real with learning disabilities, autism, and everything in between. My name is Gareth.
I'm Jacqui.
And I'm Daniel.
That's Daniel!
Yo!
So Daniel is our special guest of the week. Hi, we got very loud there. Oh, are we coming down? Are we coming down?
No, go ahead.
Bear with us, we're just working on stuff behind the scenes.
That's nothing to do with the sound, it's the earphones
just ignore all that. That's it. Anyhow, yes, hi Daniel.
Hi, Gareth.
Welcome to Harry's Big Podcast.
Thank you.
Don't freak out.
Okay.
Breathe.
Okay.
Remember, breathe in through your nose.
And out for your bum.
Out through your bum. So, before we get into our podcast and talking to you, Daniel,
Yep.
we have, of course, Patreoners!
Yay!
So, if you would like to support Harry's, what you can do is you can sign up to our Patreon. And essentially, Patreon in a nutshell is kind of where you can donate money into our charity, and it can be like direct debit and all that kind of stuff. But either way, yes, there'll be links everywhere. Long story short, you get special, I don't want to say special treatments, but different levels get different things. This person in particular is getting an individual shout out, just one person this week, because it's wow. Whenever I see the Patreon, I was like, oh. Anyhow, so Daniel, would you like to do our shout out?
Yes.
Who are you going to shout out?
Angelina T from Carrido.
Yes, Angelina T. Thank you so much, Angelina.
Yes,
it's
thank
really,
you.
honestly, it's wow. That one. See, whenever it pings up on the phone, it's like you've got a Patreoner, and then it obviously tells you what. I was like, wow, you clearly like us. You like us. So thank you so much. That is your shout out. Do you want to do it again? But this time, why don't you look into your camera when you say
Yes.
it? Okay. Daniel, which one's your camera?
That one there.
That one. There you go. Good. So why don't you look into your camera and say it again? Yeah. No, you don't
Angelina T from Carrido.
Yes. Anyhow, it's that time. It's time to get to know the mate.
Yes.
How are you, Daniel?
I'm very well, Gareth.
Daniel, introduce yourself.
My name's Daniel.
Brilliant. And Daniel,
And I'm from Newcastle.
you are from Newcastle.
Yep.
You live in a house.
I do, yes.
Is there a roof?
There is, yes.
Good. He lives in a house with a roof.
Yes.
Good. So, how do you know me?
I know you through SS4A
SS4A, yes.
and Harry's Mates.
And Harry's Mates,
Yes.
that's right. And you are part of?
Harry's Mates.
Yes, but also where do you work?
Harry's place in Belfast.
Yes, Harry's at
387.
yes
Yay.
on the road. So yes, Daniel, we have known each other for years.
Yes, that's
It
right.
actually has been years. It's a very long time.
And that's right, yes.
It has been a really long time.
It has, yeah.
We'd have to sit down and work it out, but
That's right, yes.
you're talking at least 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that is quite a long
It
time.
is a quite
is.
long time
How have you stuck him for 6 or
I don't
7
know.
years?
because he's blessed like anybody else.
Yes.
So, Daniel, tell us a bit about yourself.
Ooh, let's see.
What about you? Tell me what. Well, tell us what you like. What do you like?
I like Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
Yes.
No Doctor Who?
Yes.
Hey?
Who? Who?
I like horror movies as well.
Okay, good. Okay, just like don't touch Doctor Who. So you like your horror movies?
Yes.
Yes, and I love my horror movies too.
That's right.
Do you like your horror movies? Oh, I looked at the wrong camera. Do you like your horror movies? Yes, for all those people listening on Spotify, you can watch us on YouTube. Bye-bye. So there is 2 ways you can listen.
Same.
You can listen with your ears.
Yes.
I knew you were going to
Spotify.
say that.
Yes.
You're so predictable.
Or you can listen with your eyes on YouTube.
That's right.
Yeah, so say hello to all the people out there again.
Hello.
Right, so Daniel, let's go back in time. Oh, I've let the whole gay community down. That was my perfect time to go, if I could turn back time.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't even bring up Cher. Right now, Elton John's like him.
I was going to say, is the music still the same for Doctor Who as it used to be? Is it that?
Do the theme tune, Daniel.
Is it? Is it still the same?
It's still the same, yeah.
Yes, right. So, but if I could turn back time, and let's go back to. So we obviously met in SS4A.
That's
Shout
right,
out
yes.
to the guys. We missed you all.
Hello.
Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
So, and we met there, and then you came to. You were at the very first ever Harry's Mates.
That's right. Yes.
You were actually one of the original 9.
That's right.
He was one of the original 9.
That's right. Yeah.
I remember that whenever we met in the other wee place.
Oh, Space for Grace.
Space for
That's
Grace.
right.
That's right. Shout out to Space for Grace people.
Hello,
Yeah,
Space for
shout out.
Grace.
But that's great. Yes. But we went there. And that's right. You were one of the original ones.
That's right.
Oh,
And
wow.
then when did you were in? Obviously, you started in Ballinhinch in the cafe,
Yes, that's right.
and you did a Saturday.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. And then we brought you to Belfast.
That's right. Yes.
To help us out when
That's
we
right.
first opened.
That's right.
And now you're there every Saturday.
That's right.
And you've got a bit of a following.
I do. Yes.
Yes. A lot of people
Definitely
like
does.
Daniel.
That's right.
A lot of people like Daniel. But I think it's because, first of all, your customer service is next level.
That's right. Yes.
You're very, very good.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
Thank you.
And you always have something positive to say.
That's right.
Customer,
That's right.
Which is good.
That's right, yeah.
Everybody likes it.
Yeah.
But what's your favourite thing about Harry's?
Ooh, would have to be everything.
Yes.
That's what I
My
love.
favourite thing
Marks.
about Harry's would have to be the club.
You love the club,
Yes,
the
the
social
club.
element of
Yes,
Harry's.
the
And we
club.
haven't talked much about the club, actually.
Yes.
Yes,
So
so
that's good.
yeah, so obviously you've Harry's Mates, Harry's Place, Harry's at 3 at 7,
That's right.
Harry's Hangout, Harry's United. There's quite a lot of Harry's.
That's right.
But the overall name of the charity is Harry's Mates.
That's right.
However, the social club is called Harry's
Yes.
Mates.
Right. Yes.
What have we got up to? Tell us some of the shenanigans.
We got up to different shenanigans.
Yes. So what do we do at the club?
We do quizzes, movie nights,
Yes.
bingo,
Bingo. We've done
arts and crafts,
arts and crafts. Yes.
and we also have Christmas parties and Halloween parties
Yeah.
and summer parties as
and we have
well.
a very important ball.
With the Valentine's ball.
The Valentine's
And
That's
that'll
right.
be coming up soon then.
Oh,
That'll
yeah.
be.
Yes, our Valentine's Ball this year is on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Yes, and that's always a big one. So out of all the clubs, right, or all the nights that we do at the club, what's your favourite out of them all?
It'll have to be the movie nights and the arts and
Do you love
crafts.
the movie? Well, yeah. So the way we do our movies is we always will pick a classic.
That's right.
So, for instance, we always watch The Goonies.
That's right.
Story time.
Oh,
It's
I
a
love
tradition.
the Goonies.
It's our tradition.
You're very good at this. So you know the guy in The Goonies
Yeah.
who was at
Oh,
Comic Con.
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin.
Yes.
Me and David met Sean Astin, and we told him all about Harry's.
Oh, wow.
And where the best thing, and we told him about Movie Club.
On the way.
And he told us about how one of our favourite films is Goonies. Well, my words were here, by the way, Sean, Harry's, the guys, they absolutely love the Goonies. And he literally went, well, why wouldn't they? And I was like, what a legend of a man. So shout out to Sean Astin. Sean Astin, if you're watching this, hello.
Hello.
You're such a lovely man.
You are.
So was Elijah Wood. He was there too.
Yes.
Anyway, so your favourite club is a movie.
Yes.
And you obviously love the crafts because it's Melina. And
That's right.
It's unbelievable. But what about in the cafe? What's your favourite job in the cafe?
Front of house.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good at that.
You like
Really
the
good.
mate and you do the great.
Yes. That's right.
So let's role play. I'm a customer. I'm walking through the door.
Yep.
Hold on. The door's fixed in 3 at 7,
Yeah.
so I can open the door now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the
Wrestling
Oh, yeah.
with it.
while everyone's down going raving and the customer's trying to get in.
Yeah.
So I've opened the door, and what would you say?
Welcome to Harry's at 3 at 7. Are you sitting in or taking away?
Wow. And I'd be like, I'm doing nothing. I'm standing.
Would you like to see a menu?
Nope. Do you do beef burgers?
No, we don't. It's all vegan.
Oh, it's vegan.
Yes,
okay.
no animal products.
Yeah, that's
No.
right. Well, can I get 2 fried eggs, please?
No, you
Can I
can't.
get- But she says vegan. So, shout out to the time that my mum told everyone that me and David had, instead of us turning vegan, that we were virgins. And she told everyone that they're virgins now. Shout out to Margaret out there. but
Hello,
she
Arlene
meant-
Foster.
She meant vegan. Yes. So, now I'm going to have to explain. My mother looks like Arlene Foster. And she has
At this
been
point, what you want to do is put a picture of your mom
Yeah.
and a picture of Arlene.
side by side. So she has, so right. So
Yeah.
obviously everyone calls her
Yeah.
Arlene Foster.
Yep.
All the guys call her Arlene Foster.
That's right.
Did you know that my mum actually has gone along with it when
Has she?
people have thought that she's Arlene Foster?
No way.
So one time
She
told-
actually run for elections?
she could do. So one time in Portrush, see me some man was all like over her and was saying stuff to her, and Mum just kind of agreed with her. I think he was like, and they just kind of walked off and was like,
Right.
well, I kind of like the idea of Mum being like Arlene Foster and running the country because it'd be amazing. First of all, everyone would possibly work 1 day a week, and for the rest of the 6 days, they'd have to just listen to being told, "You're amazing. You're all doing great."
Well, I think your mum would probably be a good candidate because at least she would go to work.
Controversial.
Oh, yes. Get back to work.
Yes, so speaking of getting back to work, so that was getting to know Daniel. Daniel, we're going to get to know a lot more about you throughout this. But if you could meet one person in the world, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one, I knew it would be a tough one.
Trying to think. Would have to be one of the doctors from Doctor
I knew it was going to be one of the doctors. Right, well, so I had the lovely experience of being in Birmingham with Daniel.
That's right.
At Comic-Con.
That's right.
And we're not even going to talk about the ghost in the hotel room. Do you remember the ghost? So there's a ghost in the hotel room,
No.
and Cap Bright and Daniel smells and stuff in the windows, and that ghost was out of hand. We're not going to talk about on skiing.
No, definitely not.
We're not going to talk about that now. But we are going to talk about that you met now. What's her name?
Pearl Mackey.
Who is it?
Pearl Mackey.
Pearl Mackey. Pearl Mackey, if you're watching this, you're one of the most nicest people I think we've ever met. Wasn't she lovely?
She is, yeah.
So what's her character's name?
Bill Potts.
Bill Potts, assistant to
Peter Capaldi's doctor.
Yes. Now I hope you don't mind me telling the world this. So we were in the queue
That's right.
to meet her, and you were pretty excited.
That's right.
Yeah, they were all. I was going down to breathe. And she was so lovely. And everyone
was.
got like a few seconds with
That's
her.
right.
Said hello and everything. And the next thing, so I went ahead.
That's right.
And I was standing from them. And the wee assistant, whatever, came up to me. And I went, look, this is my friend. He's from Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
He has autism. And this is going to make his life.
That's right.
To meet her. And she was like, all right, okay. And she said to, what do you call it, Bill?
Yes.
So that's her character name.
That's
Anyway, and do you remember she stood with us for
That's right.
maybe 15 minutes
That's right.
and answered all your questions.
right.
And your questions were wow.
That's
they were
right.
so good. But she was so lovely.
Oh, she was.
And I just thought if more people were like her in the world, it'd be a better place.
It would.
She was just so accepting for us all.
That's
and
right.
there was a wee group of us. Like,
That's
it wasn't
right.
just me and Daniel. Like,
That's right.
So, as always, like to a lot of the events and stuff, you go, right, guys, everyone, we've arrived. You can spread out. Just don't leave.
Yeah.
And if you need to leave, let us know. And as always, nobody left. No one spread out. We all
That's
just stayed in a group.
That's right.
And just kind of went from it. So even though Daniel was waiting to meet her, we were all there
That's right.
just waiting on Daniel. But she literally, we stood around her and she was just lovely.
That's right.
wasn't she? And she signed something of yours.
Yeah, she signed with Doctor Who twice upon time DVD.
That's right. So I know you'd
that's
love to
lovely.
meet David Tennant.
Yes.
Because you've said that quite a lot.
Because I've always
so
wanted to
David
meet.
Tennant, if
David.
you're out there, please, come on. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Biggest fan ever.
Yes.
That's right.
And who else would you like to meet at the
Matt
doctor?
Smith as well.
Matt Smith.
And Peter Capaldi.
And Peter Cabal. All of you, please.
I mean, it's not like any of them are busy at all.
No, get them on
All the time in the world.
Yes.
Sort it out.
Yeah, and technically, because they can go back in time or forward in time,
That's right.
because time doesn't exist to the doctor.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay.
And the new doctor's called?
Shidigawa.
Yes. They were in Sex Education.
Yes.
Which Daniel didn't watch.
I did, yes.
No, you didn't.
No, didn't.
It's a very,
No, I didn't.
it's a very bad show. It's just disgusting. I haven't watched the latest season, but I've watched all the rest of it.
I mean, I've heard about your Doctor Who, you know, almost addiction. It sounds like you're absolutely obsessed with that show.
I am, yes.
You know everything there is
I've
about
great
it.
knowledge of it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's his specialist
I'm
subject.
sure everyone at home is going, why?
Yeah.
What is it about it?
It's just, it's my favourite show, and
Why do you think it's your favourite show?
it appeals to me and stuff.
Oh, well, fair enough.
No, I like the science fiction and the time travel in it.
At the time, yes, of course.
Have you got oh, am I allowed to ask? Oh, maybe you did. Did you already say what was your favorite? Who was your favorite Doctor?
Matt Smith.
I didn't ask, but wow, straight in there.
Yeah.
Okay, why? Because isn't it like a program where they change so many?
Yes.
So and they don't even they look so different, all the doctors and whatever, don't they?
Yeah.
So
You're like a Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah,
what?
She was the first female doctor.
she was.
Yes, right, okay. So
Now, to be fair, whenever you're saying your favorite doctor is Matt Smith, in reality, they're all very close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you have your Jodie Whittaker outfit,
Yes.
which is amazing.
That's right.
Honestly, is cosplay is brilliant for it.
Right.
So it's like a coat, but it's so well done
Yeah.
that it kind of like ties in. So I was able to go, "Oh, you're Jodie Whittaker."
Yes.
Like, and I could tell. Now Daniel's not standing there like a full drag with
Oh no.
like a wig or anything.
Oh no.
no,
He's
I've seen
literally.
that
no.
coat.
Yeah,
I've seen
it's
that.
really, really good. And you've come as what do you call the bad part? The master.
Yeah, the master.
I remember. Yeah, you've dressed up as quite a lot of them.
Yes.
Can I ask, have you watched any of the older ones? Like,
Yes.
because
The
that's my
classics
era.
there. Yeah. Yeah.
I only
Barker?
remember
Yeah,
it.
Tom Baker.
Tom Baker.
Tom Barker.
Barker.
Barker. I
No,
got
but
distracted. Yes.
that obviously when I was little, it was him, and there was another guy. His name I can't remember. You'll probably know. He'd blonde hair. He came afterwards. The actor from the 80s. So there was
Do you know
Tom.
what his name is?
Peter Davison.
Okay, there you go. So
Yep.
that's my era, and that's when I was watching Doctor Who. And we went as a child. I did go to the Doctor Who museum or exhibition or something in London,
Good.
and saw the Daleks and all those things as
right.
a small child, and was quite
No way.
terrified by the
No
whole
way.
thing. So, but then obviously that's my only memory of Doctor Who. He's been
see,
rattling on for
I
years.
watched. I can remember. Story time. I can remember I was living in Portadown at the time. Whenever it came back, I can remember what the excitement that Doctor Who was coming back. And I
right.
watched the first episode, Rose, and loved it.
It was my
It's
first
called
ever.
Rose, isn't
It was my first ever episode.
Yeah.
Right,
So I
okay.
watched it, and that was Billie Piper coming at you.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that.
What was the other song she did? What was the other song? Billie Piper.
Honey to a bee is like.
Oh yes, Honey to the Bee and no, I'm thinking Cleopatra coming at you. Cleopatra.
They were like a girl band, Cleopatra, the three of them.
Yes, and they have a TV
Yeah.
show as
Sisters
well on
and stuff.
TV at one stage.
I remember that.
But
Yeah.
see Billie Piper, right? I really fancied her back in the day, right?
Right.
And I had a nephew, and I really wanted to have the CD of Billie, or the tape, or even I can't remember if it was tape or CD. And
Oh, you're so old.
And I convinced my mum that my nephew absolutely loved Billie Piper, but
Love
with
it.
me,
Right.
and I got her to buy that just so I could look at the pictures of Billie
Of Billie Piper. That's
Because there
gonna
was no
annoy me.
internet at that stage where you could just look her up and look at her up.
That's gonna annoy
Okay.
me, the name of the song though, because I
That
could see
wasn't
the music
Honey to
video.
a bee is like you to me. It was number one in the charts.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking of the one that she's standing in the street and she's dancing.
Oh yeah. It's
Look it up.
It will come to me so well.
sounds like-
If you were a big enough
Piper.
fan, it should do.
Sounds like we don't know it.
It's kind of like coming at you, but it's like look at that you.
It's not because we want to.
Somebody
Because we
out
want
there's
to.
gonna
know.
Something like
Why
Why
that.
you want it that
Yes.
because you want to.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's it,
we want
that's
to
it.
or something.
Yeah, it's
But
the
I'm
music
sorry,
video
Billie.
with
Billie's like,
alien
what am I
in it.
doing?
She is a fantastic actress.
Oh, she is.
Yes, it wasn't it Diary of a Call Girl. Really?
Yeah, oh, that
But did you ever
Horror.
see where
Sorry.
she almost played a version of herself? She's an actress. It's
That's
kinda
right.
so good. Watch it in Sky Atlantic. It's really good.
Other Sky Atlantic shows are out there, and other TV providers are out there too.
Yeah.
She's an actress who
Other
uses
actresses
the plot
are out
and
there.
all the press want or after and all. It's brilliant.
There you go.
It holds a very special place in my heart.
Oh, does it?
It does the show, yeah.
That's a lot. My favorite thing is.
Why?
Oh, good question.
Because
Yeah.
my dad grew up with it. And
Oh,
we used to sit down every
love-
Saturday night and watch Doctor Who.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
like the
cute.
old ones.
No, like the Chris Eccleston ones.
Oh, so the first season.
Yeah, the Rose.
So you and your dad. That's how you got into Doctor Who.
Yes.
Daniel, I didn't know.
So
that.
the 26th of March is a very special
Oh, Daniel,
day for me.
don't you'll get me all emotional,
Oh,
start crying. Oh,
no.
that's so nice.
Yes.
Why have you never told me that?
You never asked.
It's actually a true point. I
Because
just
that's the
assumed-
day I became a Doctor Who fan.
I love
That's the
it.
day I became a Doctor Who fan.
So what I was going to say is my favorite thing is what you do on your Facebook is that Daniel likes to do the
I like
happy like third anniversary to episode.
Oh yeah, I like posting things up.
And,
I like posting Doctor Who things up.
and it's always the time stamps.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Happy 5-year anniversary to episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it.
I wouldn't see. I need that because I wouldn't know. I dropped off Doctor Who's sort of radar after.
Honestly, you
See,
should watch
Chris
it.
Eccleston was my first Doctor.
He was the first.
I grew up with his Doctor Who. I grew up with the revival.
Let's forget you're very young, Daniel.
Yes,
You
I was
are but a
10.
boy.
I was 10 years old when Doctor Who came back.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I
was
feel
10.
old. Oh, I feel old.
So I've been a Doctor Who fan for 19 years.
Oh, I feel even older.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. That's how long I've been a Doctor Who fan.
You really made us feel so old.
Yeah, I feel old because
Why do you feel old? You're a child. What age are you?
28.
Do you remember being 28?
Barely.
Because I've been a Doctor Who fan for 19 years, so I feel old.
Wow. What's the future of Doctor Who then? Where do you
Oh,
think
it's
they're
looking
going to take
bright.
it?
Well,
Looking bright.
I want to talk about the new Doctor.
Well, do you know what? I think the topic of the week is going to have to be Doctor Who now.
Yes, that's a
gone
good.
on
That'll
so
be a
long.
good
Topic
topic.
of the week, Doctor Who. So, who?
Topic of the
Who?
week, Doctor Who.
Do you want to hear my favourite Doctor Who joke?
Yes.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Doctor.
Doctor Who.
Yeah,
No, it's not
hilarious.
Doctor Who. It's the Doctor.
Do you know? Do you know?
That joke's actually changed.
Oh.
So it's not Doctor Who anymore. So when it says knock knock, who's there?
Do you know what
It's
my?
Doctor Who, the Doctor.
Do you know what my other favourite Doctor Who joke
Yes.
is? I'm going to cancel all of Doctor Who.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
Every so often I say that to you, Daniel. Don't you? You're like, do you know
But I
what?
don't take
I'm
it
going to
serious.
cancel Doctor Who.
I don't take it serious. No, I always
But I
said
could
this
if I
like
wanted to, Daniel. No, I
I
can't.
was saying it as a joke.
It is a joke.
I know.
I wish I had that power to be like, you know what? I can cancel that TV show. See that Stormman tonight?
We have to have good crack though.
Aye, we have. Sure, it's all a wee bit of fun.
Oh, it is, yes.
It's all a wee bit of fun.
And plus, it Harry's mates as well. It's all a bit of fun as well.
Yeah, like it's been mental. I honestly think my favourite thing at Harry's Mates with you, Daniel, in particular, is whenever you dress up. I think your cosplays and Halloween, you always take it so serious.
I do, yes.
And they're always brilliant. So anyway, well, that was our topic of the week of Doctor Who. Thank you,
Yeah.
Daniel, for educating us.
No problem.
we have learned
Making
a
me
lot of
feel
things.
very old.
I like
Very, very
I like
old.
talking when we've got to be Pearl Mac and stuff.
Yes, no, that was fun. No, me and Daniel
I'm-
have tons of memories. We really,
That's right, yes.
we really do in Harry's. And I think one of my favourites was always during lockdown,
Yes.
and we did the Zoom sessions.
Those were amazing.
And Daniel
were.
was my biggest fan for the scary
That's
stories,
right, yes.
Harry's scary stories.
Yes.
And this is where we really want to bring it to the podcast.
Yes. I can't
Daniel really
wait.
wants to.
Can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, and I think
know,
yeah.
can't
So
wait.
essentially, basically, do you remember each week? So I'm going to explain it to Jacqui.
Yes.
Because Jacqui wasn't there at the time. So me and David were proper. So a lot of organizations and a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff out there kind of just stopped.
Yep.
And me and David were like, right, Harry's Mates isn't going to stop. It didn't stop at all.
No, it
for
didn't.
We were just like, right, straight on to Zoom, and we had to come up with stuff to
Yes.
do.
That's right.
And I was like, right, what are the guys like? What are the guys like? And I was like, oh, they love scary stuff. So one of the things was we were like, let's do scary stories.
Yes.
So picture it. There's me, my Mac, whatever. And I would, now to be honest, shout out to all the podcasts out there. Let's Get Haunted.
Oh, yes.
A Paranormal Chicks.
Oh,
and,
yes, that's right, yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's spooky.
Yes.
Because I would listen to them, and that's one of my favorite things. And then every so often they tell a story, and I'm like, right, our guy's gonna love it. So then I would tell them the story.
Okay.
But so this is, you didn't know this, but
No, I
what
didn't.
I could see the whole time was all the wee boxes, and all of these guys lined up, and I could see who had turned off the microphone and turned off the speakers.
That's
Just
right.
doing their own thing. Whatever. I could see all that, but I could see the rest, and every single time Daniel was like.
I loved
Yes.
it. You were right in there.
And then
I will,
I
yes.
would do something, and you'd be, well, we're not going to do it now because we're trying not to curse as much. But Daniel has a certain way to react to stuff that always made me lol. But the stories were always really good.
Oh, they were, yes.
So I think we might bring some of them back because
that'd be
Daniel
good.
would ask lots of questions about the story too.
And are these
Yeah.
made up stories
No,
or they're
the real.
accounts of things
the
that have
real.
happened to people?
Real.
Yes, right, yes.
It was like, yeah, so we covered, do you remember Leap Castle
Yes.
in Ireland? We covered, do you remember I did the, it was like the Japanese stories? and
Yes,
some
that's
of
right,
them-
yes.
Oh, some of them actually.
And then there was
terrified me.
one where you did about the hunting in Connecticut as well.
That's right, yeah, we told the story of the
I actually watched that movie.
That, yeah, it was
It
this
actually
of a movie.
stays true to
to the actual story.
Yeah.
Are
Actual
any
story.
of them so like short that we could
Oh yeah.
you could tell?
Oh yeah,
me?
they are. Yeah.
But we can't tell them now. The only one is I can't remember her name. I want to say Shikak.
Shikak, shikak.
The girl in the so the whole it's an urban legend that over in Japan that essentially, do you remember it's the story that there'd be like a crack in a wall?
Yes.
So there'd be like cracks in walls, or it could be a pavement, or it could be anything.
Yeah.
And
Interior wall
And this-
or exterior wall, I'm thinking, yeah.
this basically spirit or whatever of a girl lives in them.
That's right. Yes.
And it was that she can be watching you, and there was stuff. Do you remember there was the one they had as well about the woman who she would ask you, "Am I pretty?
Yes, that's right.
Do you think I'm pretty?"
Yes.
And, do you remember that it didn't matter what way you answered, you died anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was loads, but they were brilliant. And like that was so fun. So yeah, we're thinking about bringing them back.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yes,
It'd be good if they brought them back.
I think it'd be good to have maybe you
Yes.
and Joey,
Oh, that'd be
because
brilliant.
Joey loved them too.
I
But
love
yeah,
those.
let us know. Send us an how can people contact
Yes.
us?
We haven't done
is
that yet.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Right. So Daniel,
Yes.
how can people contact us?
You can contact us at harrysbigpodcast@gmail.com.
One more time, and let's look into your cameras.
Harry's podcast@gmail.com.
So you can send us an email there.
Yes, you can, yes.
Right underneath the videos.
Oh, yes,
anyway.
yes.
You can. There's loads of ways. There's loads.
Yep.
There's loads. By the way, shout out again. We've just put up more links into our own private Facebook account. No, that sounds stupid. Facebook group. If you type in "Plant It in My Face,"
Yeah.
vegan ANI,
Yeah.
that is our wee group. Come on in. I think I might change the name to just "Plant It in My Face" because we talk about a lot of stuff in it. But I've shared the podcast in
Yes.
it, and I think it could build a wee bit of a community in there.
Yeah, it could.
So if you want to, we'll probably put the link to that Facebook group too. So it's an easy way for us all to connect.
Yeah.
Now, as I said, my favourite thing that's happened so far since the podcast has been we've had obviously Patreoners are amazing.
That's right.
We've had customers that you go wee buns,
We
wee buns.
we buns.
But a lot of people have said to me, "I've got a Dear Harry's for you." So that leads us on to our segment called Dear Harry's.
Oh,
I always worry about this one.
So do I. So I believe we have one, two. We've got some voice ones, and then I've got some written ones. So we shall see how we get on. So can we have our first one? It's coming.
yeah.
Dear Harry, your man Chris behind the camera sounds like a real fine specimen of a man. Woof! Can I get a review, please?
Who's that?
Crazy. Flash heart. Flash heart.
Well, so that
I was
was
speechless.
somebody said that Chris sounds. What was his words? A bit of a
Could we
hunk
hear it
of a
again?
man, or?
Like a Barry White here, yeah.
Very right. So it's a wolf.
Dear Harry, your man Chris behind the camera sounds like a real fine specimen of a man. Woof! Can I get a review, please?
Well, can we get a reveal?
Can we not just turn a camera?
Oh, because he set them all up. So you have to ask him.
So I'll record a video of me and then I'll put it in.
Yes, and by the and right, and before he edits all this out, he is on the TikTok. He is the there we are.
Hey.
There he is. There's your reveal for you. But you can follow him. You were saying you're on TikTok. You're on Instagram.
How many Chris Heaths? That's what my handle is.
Yes, follow the links and all. What was the one you were telling me earlier? You said your OnlyFans account that you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make a lot of money out of that. Yeah. People just don't need to see that.
So there's lots of links, so you make sure you follow him. Absolutely amazing. So there you go.
Don't literally follow him.
Yes.
That might be a bit
That would be a bit
I
weird,
like
but
that sort of stuff.
well, there you go. There's your answer. We hope he didn't disappoint.
Woof, woof.
Woof. Do you want to do a wolf, Daniel?
Woof.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you
Right.
get.
Well, there's number one. That was quite an easy one. Do we have another one?
Yes, we do. Hold on a second.
You ready?
Yep.
Dear Harry, recently we had a Boxing Day to get together as a family and we played a game where you had to blow out candles, and the furthest candle that you blew out, you won the prize. Now, we had a very good friend at our house, and he won a teapot. Now, the teapot meant absolutely nothing to me, except my husband did believe it maybe was worth thousands of pounds and was planning to go on the Antiques Roadshow someday with it. But anyway, I didn't want to tell the person that they couldn't take the teapot with them, so they took the teapot home.
Oh.
What would you have done in this situation? Would you have took the teapot off them, or would you have let them take it? This is my Dear Harry question of the week.
Okay.
So, what they're saying there is that on Boxing Day, the whole family got together.
Right.
So, near the end of the day, we were a bit bored. We're carrying on, and they decided that we were going. We see it on TikTok. So, that is you light a load of tea lights in a row, and at each tea light, you set a prize. So, we were in by the way, that's my sister. So we were in their kitchen and we're like, right, whoa, we need to get prizes, want to get prizes. As always, it was like a random celebration suite and things like that. And somebody obviously went into their back bathroom and there was a teapot. And they lifted the teapot, they put the teapot down, they're like, that can be one of the prizes. You know, that kind of thing. Now there was doors and stuff and things. And the idea is you go up and you and it's whatever one stops out, you win the prize. And the wee ones and all were playing it. So obviously, shout out to the main man himself, Ricky. So we have, you know, Ricky, one of the mates.
Yeah.
So we take Ricky every Christmas. We take him every Christmas.
That's right.
Christmas Day, and then on Boxing Day, he comes down to the family. And they adore him. Absolutely adore him. He's the most. Ricky's a legend.
Oh,
he's our
a
oldest
legend.
member, but he's just a legend. So. And he was doing it
Yeah.
and didn't it land on the teapot. And we have the best picture of Ricky with this teapot. And he's like, yes. And I look at my sister and I was like, that's his teapot. He's won that. And he took it home. So what would you have done? Would you have let him take the teapot? Or would you have said, I'm sorry, it was only a game, I need my teapot back?
I'll let him take the teapot.
Yep, Jackie?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Don't put the teapot out
I
if
know.
it's not fair game, and you don't take a teapot off the oldest member of Harry's
Don't.
mates. You just don't.
And more importantly, I know right now my mother is looking at the TV going, why did she send that in? It's Ricky, he can have anything he wants. Here, have another Dunn Stores voucher. We're sending him another Dunn Stores voucher.
Okay. Was it a nice teapot?
It was.
And here's a question.
It's a duck.
Why was the teapot in the bathroom? I'm
Well,
worried.
it could have been in her cubby hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, could have been anywhere.
Okay.
But it was a duck. I want to say it's a duck. It's like a mother goose teapot. And Here, it wasn't worth anything. I know it's not.
Get Ricky to check underneath the bottom of it, and if it's Royal Doton, then we'll have a conversation about
I would
it.
love it to be worth $1 billion.
Like only fools and
Because
horses.
then Ricky would become the oldest and richest member
would.
of Harry's. And my sister would be like, oh, if we hadn't played that game. We didn't win anything. Everyone in my family kept giving me bottles of Slur. Like, I love Slur. I do. Thanks. But it was just funny because we got a lot of Slur
Have you
sponsored.
no puff at all?
And it was, but then, like, it was how to light it and stuff, and the table. Now, I'm sure my sister knows. She didn't realise till afterwards. Do you know what I did? I'm such a child. Every so often, I would lift one of the tea lights and pour the wax out onto her table.
Oh.
Now, she had a tablecloth down, but I was like, hee.
Yeah, do you remember us talking last week or whatever about families getting together and why we shouldn't all be together all the time?
No, it wasn't. We had an amazing Boxing Day, but that was fun. But anyhow, well, we decided you leave your teapot
Leave it alone.
It belongs to Ricky.
It's gone.
It does, yes.
Yes. So let's all do. We shout out to Ricky and his teapot.
Hi, Ricky.
And a teapot.
And the teapot.
Now I have one more, Dear Harry's. Now remember, how can you send us a Dear Harry's?
Ooh.
Trying to think.
How can you send it in? Daniel's email address. Remember the email? The email.
Yep.
Daniel said the email address.
Harry's Big Podcast at gmail.com.
Or I put it into the wee group. I let you put up the number and all. I was like, send me your voice clips, whatever you need to do. So, I love the way I put down something else there. Yes, but we're not going to talk about that one. I'm looking at my thing when I need to look at my phone. Hold on.
Oh, Gareth.
I got confused. The only thing I have in there is, I'll talk about it in a second. Hold on. Bear with. Bear with.
8 minutes left in this camera.
Oh, what's that mean?
That means 8 minutes, and then we can cut, and then we can go maybe to part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, hold on, right. Let's continue. Where is it? Here we go. So, dear Harry's, where is it? Yes, dear Harry's, I've often struggled with low self-esteem and self-worth. Despite having the loving support and affirmation from my friends and family, these issues still remain.
No way.
Have you any advice? So, Daniel, this person is saying that they struggle with low self-esteem and self-worth. And that even though a lot of people are giving them affirmations, they're still struggling. What would you say to that person? What advice would you give that person? So if they've got low self-esteem, if they're being pretty hard on themselves, what would you do?
Trying to think.
Well, let's do a role play. So imagine it's me, and I'm feeling really down. I feel really sad, and then I feel like I'm not worth much. What would you say to me?
I would say to you, if you ever need to talk, you can talk to me.
Perfect. So you can talk to a friend.
Yes.
It's always good, and talking is always good. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to go with Daniel because I am a big believer in talking and talking therapy and sharing how you're feeling at the time and not bottling it up.
Yeah,
so
that's why we're on the podcast.
And low self-esteem can be something that goes way back, years and years before, when maybe you weren't even aware that maybe things were happening that were giving you that low self-esteem. And sometimes it takes a long time for them to surface. And I think talking right back as far as you need to go is probably what I would do too.
There you go. Well, I blame the government.
Okay.
Because
Arlene Foster, your mommy's to blame.
There's a lot, see with the self-esteem thing and all, it's like, you can never be too skinny, you can never be too big, you can all, everything is, we're just constantly being judged in this world. And people just, you think, it's like, oh, right, I don't want to get totally off topic, but it's like you think, whenever you're like, so big is beautiful and all that. And that's what I love about Lizzo. And I know there's been a lot of controversial things about Lizzo. But she's one of the ones that I've seen that is a bigger person and, owns it. Yeah. But what I love, if you follow her on TikTok, she openly talks about how she still has her bad days. And she has her days where all the voices get to her. And she just locks herself away and has a cry and all that stuff. So she's very... big is beautiful and about being more positive about yourself, but she's also going, not everyone can do it all the time. So to that person, what I'd say is, see, you're obviously to a lot of people in the world, you mightn't, a lot of people might know you in the world, but I'm sure to someone you are that person's world.
That's it.
And you remember yourself as
and Lizzo is the only cutout in your cafe I feel comfortable standing beside.
Lizzo, Now, we know there was a lot of controversial and stuff like that. But again, I think you make one comment, cancel culture.
She's quite skinny.
Yes, but again, if you watch her documentary, Taylor's documentary talks about the stuff too. It's these standards that the world puts us to. So I think everyone just, like what you were saying, just be a wee bit kinder.
Did you see her last night on the Golden Globes?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Fair play to her because she's not putting up any more crap.
No, hold on, I didn't. Oh no, I've only seen a wee tiny bit this morning. What happened? There's Taylor Swift gossip.
Whoever was presenting, I can't remember who this person was. They made a joke at her expense.
No way.
How many cameras that were on her all the time.
No way.
And it cut to her, and she just had the face of thunder. Just a real. And I liked it because she has had to put up a lot from
a lot.
That's why I'm like, we're not going on Taylor Swift wrong.
No, exactly.
But just watch it's on the Netflix. It's Miss Americana. You watch.
Must check it out.
Documentary.
It's a really good one, but she talks about the political side of it. She talks about her weight. She talks about all those kind of things. It's really, really good. And she talks about her family. But what I got really excited about is because gossip is wrong, but it was this morning I woke up, I had a wee notification of the thing, whatever, and I looked at it, and it was so her best friend Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And Selena's like down with her, and she's saying to her, and obviously they've worked out what she said. I'm not sure yet because they haven't gone and deep dived into who they're talking about.
So they're talking about what do you call the friend? I can't My head's right. I know her.
Who? Which one?
You were talking about Taylor's friend.
Selena.
Selena had gone over to get a picture with Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yeah.
And Timothy Chalamet is going out with one
Wonka.
of the Kardashians, right? Yeah, Wonka, right? And
Wonka.
she stepped in and says no.
No way.
So you're not having the photograph of my boyfriend.
So whatever.
Oh,
so
well,
let's-
No way.
No,
Oh.
Yeah.
no photographs of my boyfriend. Thank you very much.
Oh, no
so-
way.
but
Rein yourself in.
The scandal is, so it's a wee clip, and it's literally so Taylor's sitting there and Selena's leaning into her, and you can see did the lip reading thing where she's like, and I just asked for the picture, and then they were like, no, and like Taylor, it's proper me and you, do you know? Like Taylor's like, and you can see, and they're like, and I love that about them.
Can I ask a question about Doctor Who? I've seen recently there that what do you call your first Doctor that you liked?
Oh, Chris Eccleston.
I seen him in an interview.
Right.
You see him in an interview with Billy Piper.
Yes.
And he said he will only come back on 3 terms.
Yes, if they sack Russell Davies,
Yeah.
Julie Gardner, and Phil Collins.
Why?
Is
That's what I
this
was going to ask you why.
because they had a talk, like a very bad relationship with the BBC. So he that's why he only did one series, because it was a toxic environment.
I didn't know any of that. Now Russell
Hard to work in a toxic environment.
Russell T Davis is the guy who writes Doctor
Yeah,
Who.
he came back as showrunner,
And he has written some amazing shows
Oh, he
over
has.
the time. People don't realise this.
but he's best at writing Doctor Who.
No. Well, some people would argue with that, Daniel.
What do you mean?
I loved a certain TV show he did back in the 90s. Story Time.
Yes,
Right. So, Queer as Folk
yes,
used to be on Channel 4
on a Tuesday night.
way back on Tuesday night.
Right.
Right? At 10 o'clock.
A bit late for that.
A bit late. The Boys Brigade.
Pre-watershed.
Yeah, I'm going here if my family are watching it. The Boys Brigade was on a Tuesday night.
Oh right, yes.
And I went with my brothers and another fella used to bring us in the car or whatever. And I can remember. So I had to set a tape recorder,
Right.
VHS,
Oh no.
to try and record it. But
So old.
most of them only lasted 3 hours. So I had to be
Sorry.
like trying to pretend that I was going to be late for Boys Brigade.
Right.
So that I could hit record.
No way.
So that if I was late, I wouldn't miss it. As a gay person back in the day, I was like, there's a show about gay men. What is this? But at the time, I wasn't out, obviously.
Right.
And I can remember it. So every Tuesday, we'd get in the car, the boys, on the way home, and I'm like, come on, drive. And one week, my big brother turned around and went, you just want us to hurry up so you can watch that queer show. And I went, what show? And he was like, I know. And I was like, what show? And I denied it, and that's the truth. But that show, so I know at the time though there was obviously like sexual scenes and stuff, and I'm not. I was like, ugh. But to me, growing up, that show was life changing. Honestly, just seeing these people interact who were actually gay and be like, wow, there's other ones, and
Right.
what they were doing and the situations they were dealing with. A lot of it at that age went over my head.
Right.
When I say at that age, it must have been about 16 or something. 15, 16, whatever. But it went over my head. Now, so I have it on box set and stuff too.
Right.
And then the Americans did Queer as Folk too.
Yeah, they
Right.
recently did a reboot.
Yeah, now I love the fact that in the American Queer as Folk, so there was only 2 seasons of the UK one. I think there was 8 seasons of the American one, and they covered season 1 and 2 within the first half of season 1. Like they stuck to the storyline and then totally went over.
Was it
But
like
anyway,
like
it's
the
such a-
American version of Shameless? It's based on the UK one.
Yes, Shameless
Yes.
was another one because there was a gay character in it. I was like, wow. Will and Grace.
Oh, I remember Will and Grace.
Loved Will and
Oh,
Grace.
it was funny. I would
Yeah.
sometimes watch it.
But I can remember
I would sometimes rewatch it.
I wanted to be Will. I didn't want to be Jack.
No way.
Because Jack was too gay. And
Yeah,
I didn't want everyone thinking that I was that kind of gay. And
No way.
then I met my friend at the time, and he was so like Jack, and
Was
I thought
he?
he was really cool. But I was like Will, as in I was straight to all my friends. I hadn't come out. And in the show, whenever Will and Jack meet each other, Jack turns around and is like, hey, gay boy. And Will's like, what is he called? I'm not gay. What are you on about? And that's what this guy kept doing to me. He kept going, oh, here, you're gay. And I'm like, what? No. What? Obviously I was. I was so, honestly, shout out to you. If you're watching this, you know who you are. Shout out to you for respect for that age and just being like, I am who I am. I'm going to these countries, parties.
I thought you were going to say something else.
But I go to these country, like he obviously came to these country parties, and like they're all farmers and all, and me stuck in the middle of it, and he was just like getting out of the car like, "Hey boys."
Jesus.
You know what, though, Gareth? See, people, everyone listening at home, that gives you an insight what it's like if you're gay and
You
you can't
have no
come out.
idea.
I said Jesus.
Must be-
Can you edit that out?
Yeah, Joe, here we can edit it out.
Can you edit that out?
Yeah, we'll
Because I said Jesus by accident.
Twice now.
Jesus.
Yes. Well, that's fine.
But it'd be funny if it was left in, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, sure.
If you want it left in, if
I
you
want
want
left
left in.
in.
Yeah, right. We'll leave it in. We'll leave it in the Jesus.
Yeah,
But no, so obviously growing up as a gay person in the country, and I didn't know anyone. So anytime there was somebody on the TV, you were really like, and then you felt, do I have to be that person? Is that what I'm going to end up like? And it was such a confusing time. And then, as I said, I met that guy, and he changed my life because he took me under his wing.
Right?
Didn't like me at the time. I don't think at the start. At the time I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Because all my mates were like, here, look at him. And I'm like, hey guys. And I'm around our farm. And all the people who know me know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And like he taught me to be me. And particularly as I grew and in my 20s and all, he really helped me come out of my shell. I was not this person, Daniel.
No.
I was quite quiet.
You imagine Gareth came out of the womb going, hey!
Yeah, like, hey!
I would imagine Gareth coming out like, hey!
Yeah, and then I almost felt homophobic.
Or what about...
Because I didn't like...
Or I thought you would have come out like, hiya!
Yeah.
Now I imagine Gareth was just like goth with like a quiff down, like little Nicky, and then all of a sudden he blossomed into this.
Story time. I was a goth for one day.
Oh, way.
I went to Armagh Attack.
No way.
Shout out to the guys. And
No way.
I went to Armagh Attack and
Yeah.
they were all goths. And I was like, oh, this is cool. One of them in particular was a goth. And I was like, I'm going to be goth. Came in, all black, blah, blah, blah. You know, the like thing. That was fine. Next day I came in and was wearing a pink t-shirt. And they were like, oh, you can't wear pink if you're a goth. And I was like, I'm not a goth. That is the story. So literally once I found out you can't wear pink. But again, at that stage I was like, I didn't. So that's what I said. I felt homophobic because I didn't like, you know, these gays, these feminine gays and all, because it's like I couldn't relate to some of it. And I was like, I love Britney. Oh no. I love the Spice Girls. Oh no. And I love saying yes. Oh no.
So you knew you were...
that was my favourite bit in the first episode when you were like, you said that, and I thought that was going to be your
is that when you were is that when you were gay and stuff?
No, well that's so I knew I was gay. Well, I knew I was different when I was about 13. I knew
13?
Yeah, I was like, right, there's something different.
So what how did you notice it was different?
Well,
13?
like, so all the boys in my class would have been talking about the girls and things and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, no, I get, like, she's an amazing person.
No.
Like, honestly, yeah, like her
that's
is
what you
really
hear
cool.
when you know they're not interested.
No, but it's that kind of thing where I was like, you know, they obviously were talking about the girls and look at her and look at them and and I was like, yeah, they're really cool. Like, what do you call her? Pamela Anderson. Yeah, like I really like her red bathing suit, and her hair is really cool. Obviously, they were talking about other things of Pamela Anderson, so I couldn't quite connect the dots. And then, so I always said, I knew I was then gay about 15. It clicked.
No way.
And then, honestly, this is where we're going to get deep in this podcast, I spent years trying to pray the gay away. And that's why I get really angry, because it doesn't. And it was one moment the penny dropped. Years and years, I'm not going to get emotional, but years and years and years and all later, where I went, what if God made me this way? And my life completely changed. But for years, 4 or 5 years of my life, Daniel, every night I cried and I prayed, please, I don't want to be gay, I don't want to be gay. And I used to be like, right, girls are attractive. And it's just,
well, we are.
No, you're beautiful. So, but I didn't accept it, and I always say that. So I knew I was about gay when I was 14, 15, but I didn't accept it myself till I was about 18, 19. And I was like, do you know what? That's the way I am. And that's where I get really, and I know there's going to be people who go nonsense or whatever, but I get really cross whenever people say it's a choice. Because particularly back then, it's not a lot easier today, but particularly back then, none of us would have chose to be gay. Nobody wanted to stand out because you were so, particularly in a wee village.
It's same with gay women, isn't it?
Yeah, literally. So and then I can remember my sister-in-law. She was young, and it was her first night going to a club or whatever, and she was on the bus, and because I was the young brother, I was sat beside her, and I sat down and went, here, don't tell anyone, but by the way, I'm gay. And she turned around and she went, here, so am I, don't tell anyone.
She's a lesbian.
And she's like, shout out to you, you know who you are. Absolute legend. But that really helped me so much, where I was like, because I adore my sister-in-law, I adore my whole entire family, but I love you, Quintina. But I was just like, oh wow, like their family were so cool too, and then to have that connection with one of their families, like that, like almost secret connection, and also instantly knowing Daniel, I'm gonna be the gay uncle, and now they're gonna have the gay auntie. I was like, wow. So there was always that joke about the collection, so collecting all the different ones. Yeah. But anyhow, back to that story. I can just remember, like as I said, she was like, so am I, and me and her, and we were best friends for years and years. We're obviously still, like, if she walked in now, I'd be like so excited to see her, but obviously everyone's life is apart and stuff. But so if you want to know a wee bit more, ask a couple of questions. I have no problem talking about it now. And I never thought there would be a day I would be in a podcast talking about being gay. Yeah, but back to the original point. I always found it really hard to try and connect. So you had your Lily Savages and things like that. Yeah. You Graham Norton. He was amazing.
He's gay, that's right.
And that's where once I learned to lean into the stereotype, I found myself. I was like, it's okay to say yeah. It's okay to be like, girl. And then RuPaul came along, turned the whole thing on its head. And that brings me to my point that I had written in there. And I just feel the world needs to know that in the latest season of RuPaul that's just started, Daniel, one of the drag queens is called A Mandatory Meeting.
Brilliant.
Isn't that the best? It is. So it's Amanda, and it's a mandatory meeting.
We all go to those.
Yeah. They're doing amazing, but it was just first episode, and me and David so the names, someday we'll do that in the podcast, the best drag names that we've seen, but a mandatory meeting. And the best, see by the end of the episode, because you know the way the queens talk to the camera, it was brilliant that whenever Rue's like, a mandatory meeting, I cut to another queen going, I didn't realise that was her full name. Amazing. So yeah, anyhow, mandatory meeting. Hope you're doing well. So, we went on a bit of a tangent there.
A total tangent.
But it is time for... You ready for it?
Yes.
You excited?
Yep.
Burgers. Why are you looking at me? Look at Burger.
No, you don't have to look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Burgers thought of the week.
All right.
You know, whenever he plays the week.
Yes. Yes.
So, take it away, Jacqui.
Oh, where do you go with your thoughts for this week?
No,
we've covered Doctor Who and gayness.
Yes, we have.
And drag queens.
And drag queens.
You know. Okay, well, I did give this a little bit of thought in the car, where I do all my thinking. And I suppose, given even what we were talking about last week, we're starting into a new year. And for some of us, I mean, this might relate a little bit into what you were saying earlier, Gareth. Changes. So I've been thinking about how things are maybe changing for a lot of folk this year even, you know, and my thought is don't fight the change, go with the change. So if there's anything happening in your life at the minute that is going to be a change for you, and it could be a big change or a little change, my advice is that change is natural. And life is full of changes, and I think you just need to, like you said, leaning in to your gayness, lean in to the changes that are going to happen or are happening to you. There you go.
Embrace the change.
Embrace the change.
Yeah.
Daniel, do you like whenever things change?
Yes, I do.
Oh, there you go.
Some people hate it. Some people
you know
fight
that,
it.
A lot of our guys don't like change.
That's right.
And a lot of the guys have really, you know, there's been a struggle with the move of the cafe.
Yeah.
Even today, you got to see the new cafe.
I did, yes.
Like, oh, this is a new cafe, this is a new kitchen. So a lot of the guys are like, hold on, this is different.
Yes.
And it's just taken us a wee while to get back into but it's the same. It's just
Well, you see, I was thinking about his Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Love of Doctor Who and how they change over the years and how
That's
they
right,
use that as a concept for a program. And I like that, and I think that change happens whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So therefore, you know, it's how you deal with that.
Yeah.
And it is a natural part of life. Bit like all these doctors are morphing into somebody new
That's right.
again.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that's how life goes. So.
If you change, it's not about you changing, it's about you growing.
That's right.
Yeah. Well,
Grow into the
change.
change. Grow into the change. I get it. Do you like it?
I know, yes.
Do you like
There you
it?
go.
Yeah,
That is my thought of the week.
Thought of the week. Honestly, no, I think that's brilliant. It's all about, you know, embrace it, because no one. So that can be sometimes, as you said, there's bad changes, and sometimes there's good changes.
That's right.
And
Maybe they're going to happen anyway, so it's what you do with it.
it's trying to accept it's gonna.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not kind of just like, oh, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So just embrace it, and also embrace the gay.
Absolutely.
Lean into being a gay. It also doesn't, by the way, it was just a complete fluke that I, like, whenever I say I leaned in, like the stereotype fitted me.
Yeah.
Like, he will have no problem, my partner David out there. When I first met David, and I was like, he likes football, he can't be a gay. He doesn't even say
He doesn't act gay.
He doesn't act
He doesn't
gay.
act
He
gay.
doesn't act gay, whereas I do.
I noticed that about David.
But it's not an act. It's our natural beings. But,
Yeah.
So that's where. But I know, and David will have no problem me saying this. His was just as confusing for him growing up, because he was like, hold on, I don't fit that stereotype,
No.
but I like football. And gays can't like football, but they can. You know.
Exactly. We proved that last week.
Yeah. No, a lot of gays don't like football. Smart ones. But yeah, so it was just as confusing for him, because it's back to the original. There was one of the podcasts where you talk about whether it's better to stand in, to fit in
or stand out.
Sometimes it just takes you a while to find your people. Find your people and find yourself and embrace who you are. You know what? You don't have to be a big flamboyant gay. You don't have to be the quiet gay. You don't have to be gay.
Right.
Thank God for that. Thanks for throwing that in.
Shout out to all the heteros.
Yay!
We like them too.
Oh, thanks.
Wee bit.
Thank you.
So, yes, thank you for your thought of the week. Now, this one I am particularly excited about, because this is all about the throwbacks. We're going to throw back to about, well, if you did heavily edit it, it could be 30 seconds ago in this, or it could be 5 hours ago, when we talked about whenever we were on Zoom.
Yes, that's
And
right.
this started on the Zoom. So Harry's mates was on Zoom. And it was me with the guys, and we would do nonsense and on. And then we did a segment on Zoom.
Right.
And this is why we have this segment on this. But it's the joke of the week.
Yeah.
You know, they tell us a joke.
I love telling
it's
jokes.
because for some reason Daniel randomly in one of our Zoom sessions decided he was going to tell us jokes. And we were in bits. And then, do you remember every week it was right, it's that time, guys. Daniel's going to tell us a joke.
Right.
So it actually feels so exciting.
I know.
You're building it up now. These had better be good.
Oh no, Daniel's jokes are terrible, aren't they? Yes. They are. But, so Daniel,
Okay, done.
would you like to tell us a joke?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know these jokes off by heart?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Go. Yeah, good for you.
So,
It was right then when we realized we had to cut Daniel's joke or be canceled. It was one of the best jokes we have ever heard, but very cancelable.
Are we allowed to?
and that's my joke of the week. And that is my joke of the week.
Daniel, do you have any others?
Hold on, right? What we're gonna have to do is that's definitely gonna be one of the bloopers.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, right. We're gonna try. So once he's did the editing on this, it's gonna cut back to us, and we're gonna be like this, going right. So we're gonna do that again because Daniel told us a joke. It was really, really funny, but not funny because it's naughty.
Have you
Daniel,
any more?
tell
Try
us a
again.
joke.
Okay.
Try it again.
Let's go for that. See if this one can go out.
A horse walks in the bar and the bartender asks, "Why the long face?"
That was a good one. I like that one. Right, another.
E flat walks in the bar, and the bartender asks, "We don't serve minors here."
Minors, E flat's a minor.
You know
note.
E flat's a minor.
Yay!
Yes.
Musician's joke.
Oh, it's a music joke.
Yes.
Right.
A sandwich walks into the bar, says to the barman, "Can I have a pint?" Mum says, "Sorry, mate, don't serve food here."
Oh, don't serve food. Yeah.
So we're all great at telling
Yes.
terrible jokes. Any more?
No.
Oh, Daniel.
No, I don't have it.
First
I
one
don't
was
have it anymore.
really good.
Here, I have one more. Said
Yes.
jump leads walk into the bar. Mama says, "You can have a pint." Someone's going to start something.
I try to think of the walked in the bar. There's a couple of different. I think he told me one. We talked about this last week in the podcast. Andy's really inappropriate jokes and inappropriate moments. He did one this week. I can't remember what it was, but it was into a bar one, like in the middle of the chaos of the cafe. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Keeping life going.
That
That's
was
what
our
he's
joke of
doing.
the week. Daniel, they were brilliant.
Yay!
fine.
Well done, Daniel.
That first one will never see the light of day.
Will that one be edited out?
Yeah, we're gonna edit, but it was really funny. So sorry.
Really good. I'm going to use that.
What about the E flat one?
E flat. Well, no, the E flat was
It's
all
going
right.
to be. That's
Although,
going to
what
be.
if musicians get upset?
Don't know.
No.
They'll be all right. So it now brings us to that time of the week of what did you learn?
Yes.
Date from the podcast. So we're going to go straight into Barker.
Oh.
Well, what did you learn this week?
Okay. I learned that you're actually more sensitive than you let on.
There's a lot to that story.
There's a lot going on there, and now I know which buttons I need to push if I want to make you cry.
Please don't make me cry. Speaking of crying, that brings me to what I learned this week. See that story of you and your dad watching Doctor Who? That is the most beautiful thing that you have told me in a long time. So honestly, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for letting me into that wee bit. So I've learned that, but what have you learned this week, Daniel?
Learned a lot.
Brilliant.
Yes.
What have you learned? Have you learned anything from us?
I have, yes.
What?
That
Yeah, he's thinking.
he's moved over to the market house.
Yes, that's
Yes.
a good one. We learned that. We moved to the market house.
That's right.
People are still going to the old cafe, so don't do that. Come to the
Don't
market
go.
house.
Don't go to the old cafe
Don't
because
go to
it's
the
all
old
locked
cafe.
up.
So that just leads me now to, honestly, Daniel, this has been so fun.
That's right.
It's been lovely.
You are everything I expected you to be on this and more.
Thank you.
So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And not just thank you for being one of the mates, but thank you for being one of my best mates in the world.
Thank you.
You are my best friend. I
Thank you.
absolutely adore you to bits.
Thank you,
Yes, thank
Gareth.
you. And please call into 387 to see Daniel.
Yes, if you want to see Daniel in the flesh, go to 387. And you do your dancing with Carl.
Yes.
And we put up a picture this week whenever you're doing your week. But no, we've known each other for years, and honestly, Daniel, I don't know if I've ever said this before, but if there was more people like you in the world, the world would be a better place.
That's right.
You are absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So, leads us to our sign off.
Okay.
Come on, the sign off.
Thank you for listening to Harry's Big podcast.
Yes. Well, that's a nice one. But you remember I go, sure, was it?
You don't even know, Joe.
Oh, yes, it's show, not sure. Show. So I say, remember, at all else, show love.
Show kindness.
Yes. And happiness.
And happiness.
Yes.
And do you remember you're supposed to say wee buns?
And wee buns.
Wee buns!
Wee
So
buns.
we're going to try again.
One more time. Go.
And remember, above all else, show love.
Show kindness.
And show happiness.
I just want to say, wee buns.
And wee buns.
Wee buns! Yay! Thank you very much. And yes, thank you, Daniel.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Did you enjoy it?
I did, just.
Good. I really enjoyed that too.
When will that be put up on YouTube this week?
Yeah, of course it will. You'll get
What
to
day?
see- Today.
To this man
Will
here.
it be put up today? Yes.
Possibly.
Oh,